All right, so as we know, gentlemen, Dianna Russini, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. This was actually like less than an hour ago. Dianna Russini ended up submitting her resignation letter for the Athletic, and she resigned her position because of the scrutiny that faced her alleged relationship, cheating relationship with Mike Vrabel, that they spotted both of them at a fancy hotel on the top of a rooftop. And there's been reports going around that Dianna Russini is kind of like that type of, eh, you know. So I had to find the greatest hits of Dianna Russini. And you guys are all in relationships. I'm in one as well. So I want to know how you guys would feel if you were dragged like this. Because she kind of gives me a little bit of Jada Pinkett Smith a little bit. Like, she gives me a little bit of that, but just in the white form of it. So I'm going to play this for you. Gentlemen, my question to you is,
She for the streets.
how would you feel?
She for the streets, dog.
I think that these clips are so absurd, and I'm gonna find another one that really brings the point home. But I think for her to be a because there was a clip on it was a clip on Twitter where she was like, she called in and she told the guys there, she's familiar with it. And this is kind of like guy talk in a sense, so I get some of her humor. But she called in, she was like, I don't want to be called an inside reporter anymore. I want to be called MILF. And the guys was like, whoa. The niggas was like, whoa, I'm gonna find a clip for you. But I just think enough, unless the husband has like a public humiliation kink where like he gets off on being, ashamed in public, this is fucked up. And that shit would have been over after the first 2-3 comments, if you're asking me. How do you gentlemen feel?
How do I feel about what we just watched?
Just how you feel about just like the fact of, one, she resigned, but just if you were in her husband's position, because her husband works for the Eagles, like he's like a successful, like he works for the Eagles. He's not like a schmuck, you know what I'm saying? He works for, I don't know what his position is, but he works for the Eagles. So like, how would you feel if you were to turn the TV on and see this happening? And how do you feel about her treatment that she's getting for her alleged, situation with Mike Vrabel?
My girl knows that I'm liable to say some of the most outlandish things. In fact, we were watching Love is Blind's most recent season, and that's my guilty pleasure. In Ohio, wild boys and girls up there in Ohio, apparently. But she says to me, should we get married? I better say more than just you look good, right? Because she knows I'm poetic and all of this stuff. And she was like, you better say all these poetic things and blah, blah, blah. And I looked her dead in her pupils, those beautiful brown eyes of hers. I said, babe, when we get married, I will be drunk. You better hope all I say is you look good. Y'all heard the things I said on this show, and y'all didn't know I was going to say them. And I'm drinking water. You better hope all I say after all the liquor I'm going to be drinking on my wedding day is, babe, you look good. With both of our parents involved, you see the stage that I get to act an ass? I know I don't give a damn about embarrassing my parents. They know who I am. And I was the first one. They know who I am. They just look at me, yeah, that's him. I tried. Your parents is new here. They gonna be looking at you like, that's who you decided to marry? You better hope all I say is you look good. I say all of that to say, even though I say the most outlandish things, I still run them by her before I say them. And I don't think she ran these outlandish things by him. Because I have to run them by her and be like, because my girl's black, let's start there. So I have to be like, hey, I'm probably going to mention this thing in this poem or in this speech or in this whatever. And then I can see that scrunch in her face. I'm like, yeah, I probably should say that. Good call.